What's this say? I don't know. What's that say? I know, but I'm not going to tell. I think it says it's good.
Conjecture Hoops contains all the presumptions, assumptions, and off-the-wall postulations a growing kid needs. Conjecture Hoops, a big bowl of bullshit. Saturday morning cartoons.
Now at night time.
Mostly conjecture based on little knowledge.
Please welcome Max Headshrew. Dell. Aria Blackness, and your most gracious host, Ben motherfucking Jackson. Applause. Applause. Applause.
Finally, a flawless fucking intro. We haven't had one of those in like a month.
I want one of those.
Well, we can talk. How is everyone?
Excellent.
Good, buddy.
Cooler this week.
I watched versus Predator last night. I'd actually never seen it. The movie
Oh yeah.
rules.
You've never seen
Did
the
you like it?
Predator?
Shit. Yeah. I've seen every Alien movie, and I've seen Predator 1 and Predator 2 and Prey. But no, until last night, I hadn't seen Alien versus Predator.
Oh, Alien versus Predator. And you thought it was pretty good.
Wild, dude.
And
I was. Yeah, it's genius, isn't it?
I know. I was disappointed.
Well,
it's kind of interesting that they've got the same license.
Yeah, I mean that's all great. I had higher hopes because I was like a big fan of the AVP comic for a long time when I was a kid. So when I heard it was coming out, I thought, oh, they're going to do the comic. They're going to do the comic, and then
you were expecting you were expecting the comic book story, an adaptation, basically.
Yeah, I was expecting more. I don't know. I was expecting a more directional care when it came to some of the to the alien, especially, and like I don't like it when they when you overshow the alien. Like I think part of the beauty about the alien films is that you never quite see exactly what it is, especially in the first two films. And then after that, they sort of start showing it, and then it becomes CGI. And I was like, yeah. It's if they managed to keep it in the shadows, I think I would have been happier with what I saw.
I know what you mean because, like, I got that sense definitely when the first xenomorphs came to life, like the face huggers. And then you cut the cut scene to something else, and then you cut scene pretty quickly, and then there's fully grown xenomorphs. And it's like, wait a minute, this is supposed to take a long time. It's supposed to be scary and build tension. And it's kind of like they're telling you non-verbally, like, you've seen how this works, so we'll skip that bit. You know, if you want to see that bit, watch Alien, right. But you know what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
You know
and I it's what happens with a lot of franchises. Like as they move on and on and on, and they get to their later sequels, and then they sort of become more the quality
Best
drops. Yeah.
It's like, here's the beats that you know, Alien and Aliens classics. Obviously, we all remember those beats. So
Right.
let's crowbar these beats in, but you forget that those beats were germane to that story.
Yeah.
And you know, they were made
But
by
it's-
master filmmakers who were able to sort of
right.
exercise
And,
the tension, and it was
exact-
often the build up to those beats, and
right,
the beats
exactly.
of the
And they sort of went with the Godzilla versus King Kong way of doing, like, the monster versus monster, and that's fine. It was like, you get a kick out of seeing Alien and Predator beating each other up, right? But I think there's a human, a group of humans accidentally stumbling upon a war of two deadly creatures story in there somewhere that is untapped. And I think people just when they get those versus films, they're just like, wow, all the entertainment is just in them fighting, and then the story surrounding it's kind of paper thin. Whereas, like, I'm probably expecting more than I should, but I would like them to approach it as if, okay, we know it's Alien and Predator. Let's drop all those tropes and, like, approach it as its own thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Has there been a good film with verses in the title?
probably.
Well, I think
it depends what you're looking for.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah,
They all suffer from the same problem.
right. Kramer versus Kramer.
They all
versus
have the
Predator.
same problem, which I think Max described really well.
I can't imagine Kramer versus Kramer being standalone films and then meeting in the courtroom, you know?
Yeah, they're just beating the shit out of each other in an Egyptian pyramid in the middle of the Arctic.
Meeting Godzilla in the court.
Yes,
Camouflage stripes on a face.
Yeah. Dustin Hoffman can disappear.
Well, he can.
Yeah.
He's quite
Acid
short, you
blood.
see.
Yeah. But no, there are definitely some cool scenes.
I think the problem with versus movies is, like, the same problem that kind of like the Endgame, the Marvel Endgame movie had, which is that you're uniting content from too many different franchises, so none of them has the time to develop as they need. You know?
Yeah.
But I get that, and I don't mind that, because I know that they all deserve their own full-length movie, and like, you're jamming them all together. You're not going to get that in one movie. So I'm kind of okay with it, and I didn't hate the story either, because I thought that the way that they sort of wove the two universes together made perfect fucking sense, because the xenomorphs have this genius quality where they adapt to wherever they grow, because they take on the attributes xenomorph, right? Doesn't that mean that which is like something different from itself? Because they, like, turn into something that's definitely going to be suited to that planet. Genius. Yeah. But then the predators are even more genius. They're genius. They're like, we know how to make these things because their biology is predictable. So we'll breed them to hunt them. You know, like, so that's, like, I thought it was really, really fucking clever. You know, like, hats off. I just think the person that wove that together. But that was an idea that already existed before the movie,
right?
So.
I think, like, the privilege that you get with uniting the two characters is that they've already got a backlog of films that explain their origins, so you don't necessarily have to go through any of that. Like, I would have been happy without the exposition in the film. Like, oh, it says here in these hieroglyphs that the predators hunted the aliens, and so they brought them down, and they've got, like, just show us some stuff that sort of leans towards it, and let the audience make up their own mind of what's going on, and then use that space to develop the characters more.
Yeah, but you're never gonna get that, in a movie made, because the movies always have to appeal to normies.
Right.
Otherwise,
unless you lowered the budget, unless you massively lowered the budget. No, I get it. I get it. Like, and I understand why, you know, the technical reasons why they don't do it that way. But That's if it had been just approached as a story of people accidentally getting involved with two warring creatures, and just forget about the fact that they're aliens and predator as far as when you're the writer, and then just base it on that. And I think for me, I think that would have made a better film.
All you need there is the line, I told you we should have turned left. There you go.
Yeah.
Instead of turning right, and like, oh my God, what's going on in this neighborhood?
Yeah. That's all I needed.
Yeah, I think we mentioned last week that the film came out after the comics, right?
Yeah, way after,
Yeah.
Way after.
Because I remember, okay, so let's see, the comic, I think this is the first one. It was like 2000.
Oh no, man! Earlier than that.
This one, 1989, I think, was the first comic.
So these issues are from 1991.
What? 91. Oh, yeah. Aliens, yeah.
But the IVP story, was in it. So there was an alien story, a predator story, and then an IVP story at the end.
Who published that?
I think it was Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, yeah.
Okay, so that's possibly this one, but I've got the German version.
Right.
And let's see.
So I think I went straight into reading the AVP story, and that explains a lot. That there was already 2 stories prior to that, because I kind of felt that I was coming into the middle of this story.
Yes. That's
I don't know this
because I don't know if I should mention this.
So that's the graphic novel, and I've got the issues.
Yeah. Oh, this is like the floppy as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
right. So there's a few in there. That other one's a reprint then.
Well, exactly. What I found was, and I think that in these, you've got several issues like bundled into one. I think there were like 2.5, maybe even 3 bundled into one. Because what I found was, I found a version on. I've been away a few days, and I found a version online. Yeah. I'm not gonna say how I found it. Thanks, Ben. But what I found was that when I came home today, I got these out and I started looking through them. I thought, well, that's interesting because they stop at different places. But I gotta say, the artwork on the covers is excellent. But these are like, I think these are later reprints. These are 2000, and as I say, these are the German version.
Yeah, I think alongside 2000 AD, this was probably my introduction into sort of more adult comics, and they really are, like, especially the alien stories. They're really adult, and interestingly, like each one of with the exception of IVP, each one of the stories was set directly after the films. So there's about 4 or 5 different comic stories that are set directly after Aliens, and the characters go in different directions in each of them. They're all separate stories, nothing to do with each other. And the Predator story was set straight after the first Predator, and the main character in it is Dutch's brother, who happens to be a homicide detective in New York. And he looks exactly like him as well. He's massive and he's got blonde hair and he's got huge muscles. And that's actually a pretty good Predator.
When was that published?
89, 91.
Wow. So would that have been the inspiration for the film, Predator 2?
Because
maybe. I think the original idea was that was going to be Arnie.
Right. Well, it's
in the Danny Glover role.
Yeah, Arnie's character never turns up in the comic, but his brother does, and he looks exactly like him, so he must be like a stand-in.
They probably didn't have the rights to use that character.
Right, and then it's a good story, man. Like, it's him sort of trying to figure out what's going on with his brother, and he's trying to hunt down a predator in the city. But the whole story, I thought this would be great for the sequel if they ever did it. The whole story culminates in a couple of predators appearing in the middle of New York, and it's like a street war between like the Dutch's brother and these gang members and the predators, and the gang members are getting the fucking asses kicked like proper. And in the end, Dutch's brother ends up having like he nicks one of the masks so he can see the predators, and he ends up having like a semi-fist fight with one of them, and he gets the shit beaten out of him. and just about as it's about to kill him, it starts to rain, and because it's starting to rain, the heat wave has stopped, so hunting season is now over, and the predators all just stop, put their stuff back on, get back on the ship, and fly away.
That's like the Asterix in Britain, isn't it? Like
it's a really good scene because
4 o'clock.
like,
Oh, it's tea time.
It's a really good scene because it's like been building up for this fight right till the very end, and just as it's about to go off, like obviously everything stops. They must, live their hunt by this code, and the predator sort of just starts laughing, and then drops it and drops him and walks off. I was like, oh, that's a fucking great ending.
So you're saying the predators play by the same rules as cricket?
Pretty much. Well, in every film, they at least in the first 2 films, they say they only hunt when it's very hot, and in both films, it's like a heat wave in it. Like in the second one with Danny Glover, he's like covered in sweat all the time because it's too fucking hot, and that's what attracts them to come and hunt. Which was another problem I had with AVP because it's in the Arctic.
Yeah.
So I was like, what are they doing there?
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's addressed, Max, because in Predator 2, it explains that they come from a planet that's like hotter than our planet, so they can see in infrared, I think, or something, because they're used to higher heat signatures. But that also makes having a lower heat signature their weakness, which is why they like freeze everything and they think they're gonna win that way. And because that's what they try in Predator 2, right? Because they have like the whole freeze guns or whatever. It's a freeze gun.
Freeze.
They address that in AVP, the movie, because they're like, this is an artificial like test for young bloods or even before young blood or something like. But the point is, they're trying to make it as hard as possible for the predators on purpose.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I consider myself corrected.
I want
Ben to you just got to be autistic to like get all the detail.
I want Ben to do that Schwarzenegger one more time.
It's a freeze gun. it doesn't make the bang. It makes the freeze like a freeze sound, like.
What kills the predators? The Ice Age.
Can you say? This is my friend. He's a ferret.
Well, clearly you can't, Rob.
It's from Kindergarten Cop.
Shut up!
Who is your daddy? We are going to play Who is Your Daddy and what kind of comic books does he read?
Yeah. Who is your alien queen and what does she do? It's not a tumor.
What I liked about the movie.
It's not a tumor.
Well, I said it.
It's not a tumor. It's not a
tumor.
It's a face hug.
It's a face hugger. For fuck's sake.
I like how they just come out and say that it's sexual in one of the movies. I don't remember.
Oh,
it
man.
kind of is.
Yeah, it's definitely is.
Yeah, because it has to do with reproduction.
That's got to be resurrection.
It says ambulatory
that's
penis.
the perverts one.
That was it, and it's in the comic. It's in the comic. It's
everything about it. Like, the H.R. Geiger, the guy that designed it, was like obsessed with everything looking like vaginas and penises, right? So like the bottom of the face looks like a vagina with a penis coming out of it, and then obviously the alien's head itself is a penis.
Yeah, and
like when it hugs your face, guess what goes on now?
For rape and impregnation, basically.
Yeah. The first one was about men experiencing abortion.
Yeah.
It was.
Which is taken to the logical conclusion in Prometheus, where.
And it's not the only science fiction story that does that too, because What's Her Face has that book. I don't know if you've ever seen it with the cover by Michael Whalen, but it's like it's a species of aliens that reproduces that kind of in a similar way. So like they gestate inside of a human being, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
in a similar way. I'll look it up right now.
And they look cool as shit. That Aliens is the best design monster for cinema in ever.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that they can't figure out what to do with it. The latest films were kind of subpar, weren't they? What did everyone think? Sorry, Buddha, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, I never realised for years that it was a man in a suit. I always thought that's got to be animatronics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's got to. I mean, there is a lot of puppeteering going on, especially with the Queen. But I never realised there was actually.
It's called.
Actual...
It's called Lilith's Brood. Octavia Butler.
Lilith's Brood. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I've not read it, but it's a pretty well-known book. Sorry, what?
Did we watch Prey then?
Yes.
I did watch Prey.
I haven't seen it yet, no.
What did we think? Oh, we might spoil it for you, Buddha. Is that okay?
Mate, it might be.
Yeah, that's fine. Is there going to be some big plot twists that are going to blow my mind? Really?
Well, basically, it's set in Norway.
You pretty much know going in what you're going to get.
What basically know what's going to happen.
It's set in Norway with a trout festival going on in the background.
It's the Predator stripped
that blows my
back
mind.
to. It's just Predator stripped back to the bare bones, and it's in a different setting, and the Predator's got different shit. But it's a Predator film. They're not doing anything new with it. It was all right.
18th century tribal girl.
Yeah.
Back to basics, setting traps like the first film, jungle setting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Much.
Okay. Spoil away.
You liked it. That's good.
I did.
I totally liked it. There's a lot of heat on the internet because of the film. I just think if you can enjoy a film, then it's a success, right? And I enjoyed it.
Well, what's the criticism? What are they saying?
It's a Disney movie.
What's my criticism?
That's the world we live in now.
Well, no, I think.
I'm saying, like, what are the people that don't like it saying?
Because
Rob said there was heat online.
Yeah.
How is it woke? Just because it's a female protagonist?
Yeah.
Which is
doesn't make it woke.
No, not.
I know it's difficult. Like I often think about this, and I always put aliens in this thought, right? It's easy to have a counter-reactive reaction to the woke stuff right now, and it's so easy that I think if aliens were to come out now, I think it would be accused of being woke. Yeah.
Oh, because of Ripley.
Yeah, man. Because she's like a strong female. I honestly think people
and
get
Terminator 2
and Terminator 2.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah, they'd be calling her a geezer bird and all that. They'd be saying that she's too masculine.
I think part of the criticism on the internet was the fact that all the way through the film, and film, you've got to show like some kind of character development, but it kind of shows that this girl, she's good in the kitchen, she's good with medicine, etc., but she's not a hunter because she keeps getting stuff wrong. She freezes when trying to shoot stuff, and then in the end, you got this like huge hulking, Rastafarian alien, and she takes him down. Right. And I think that's really why a lot of people were like, they were
and as established in the first film, these are aliens that can take down an entire marine force of big bulging bicep over steroids.
Well, it wasn't.
Yeah. One little girl manages to take it down.
I think
it's not a tumor
at the end for her to gather a small team to take it down.
The black oil.
And run a hunt instead of doing it by herself. Because the parts I have the issue with aren't like how clever she is. It's like when he's hitting. I have this with some of the other Predator films when the Predator's hitting her and she's like blocking it and stuff like that. Like it would just go through you. Like the dude's fucking enormous and he's super strong. It would go through your block and through your body and you'd be dead. I don't believe like a little girl with an axe can like block a fucking giant blade from a 8-foot predator, like bringing it down.
Yeah,
I just don't buy it. Because he
AVP
beats the shit out of
Requiem.
Art. Like Arnie takes him on and he batters Arnie.
You're right about.
Yeah.
You're right about
AVP
that.
Requiem.
But I
He gets
forgive,
beaten up by
I
a
can forgive the
14-year-old
film
boy.
so much because she wasn't a geezer bird.
No, she wasn't.
No.
Not by any stretch. Like she's constantly getting shown up by her older brother, who would be wiser and stronger normally, and that was shown accurately. Because like you always see this, we don't always see it, but it's a common trope of like the sister like smarter than the brother, and he's so dumb, and I'm better at sports, and I'm better at everything. And I didn't get that vibe at all. You know, she's like trying to live up to him. She's like trying to keep up with him. And then like the fact that she survives at the end, that was like a transcendental moment where you overcome, where you level up basically. But throughout the movie, she was shown like the dynamic between them was very, very realistic. I felt like.
Yeah.
I liked Red Letter Media's review of Prey. They said, well, look, if this is woke, if the Predator is the masculine version of the Predator story, then, they'll take Prey every time.
Yeah.
Well, what did you guys think of the Predator?
Is fucking awful. It is really, really bad.
Yeah.
No, the masculine Predator is Predator.
Yeah. The Predator is the bro douchebag version.
It's just a shit film.
Yeah. I was so disappointed. It was Shane Black, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who made it?
He I don't know what, after he was doing cocaine that day. Fucking hell. No, Sin Killer, it's a pretty good film, you know. It's not like fucking like the best film you've ever seen or anything, but it's good. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
There are. I'm sure you've all heard of Chekhov's gun, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anyone watching out there at home who doesn't know what Chekhov's gun is, Chekhov wrote this piece saying
Chekhov's gun.
Not jerk-off gun, that's something else. Chekhov's gun. If you see a gun like hung on the wall in the first act of a play or a play, then it's going to be used in one of the subsequent acts. Okay, right. And what you see, when you realize that, and when you've seen it in a few films, you learn to look out for it. And there you have it, like the different trials and tribulations that she faces. And just for Buddha, I'm not going to mention them, but you actually see it early on, and you think, I know this is coming up again later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I did like the way she fucked with it at the end to kill it, and I also appreciated they didn't do the mud thing again.
The mud thing? Oh, right. She douses herself in mud.
Yeah. They come up with a different way to hide the heat of their bodies.
Heat signature. Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
Did she get to the chopper?
She doesn't say get to the chopper, no.
No, because it's in the 18th century.
Well, she's just talking about her axe.
Yeah, she has a chopper.
Everybody get to my chopper.
Hello, Katie.
What amused me about The Predator, I'm going to take it back to the film that I've actually seen, is it had these uniformly awful test screenings, apparently. And
really?
And they actually reshot the last act of the film to make it more like a Predator movie, because all these test screen audiences said it's just not enough like a Predator movie, which is why the last third is basically just a remake of the first film. They go into the jungle and they get picked off one by one. But the problem is that the first hour of the film is like this bro comedy. So you have all these jokes and laughs and getting to know these characters and seeing them interacting. And then in the last half an hour, they're just all picked up in like these really, really violent ways. It's like, I don't know, if you're watching, I don't know, Superbad or something, and then the final half an hour, it goes from like this,
like
this
Freddy
comedy.
Krueger movie.
Yeah, it suddenly goes from, I don't know, Pineapple Express is quite violent, but it goes from like this bro comedy to them just all getting hacked apart and dismembered because
But they did that.
Again, those are the
That's a
beats
movie
you
called
got
This
to-
Is the End or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, in that that was planned from the start. That they had to hit these beats. And they were able to tailor the story that way. In The Predator, it just completely comes out of nowhere. All these.
That's
these
in the
deaths.
original Predator movie, Buddha.
That's The Predator.
Oh, The Predator. Oh, there's another film called The Predator.
Oh yeah, have you not?
I have not seen
The Predator?
Yeah, it came out about 5 years ago.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
okay.
Watch it. It's dog shit. Like it's so bad. It's really awful.
It's the worst Predator movie.
Predator.
Oh, I don't know. The Predator is quite bad.
There's a movie called Predator 2.
Yeah.
There's a movie called The Predator. Then there's a movie called Predators.
Yeah.
And then there's a movie called Prey.
Yeah. And The Predator is
different
the
movies.
worst of all of them.
Like you've got it the wrong way around. I think it's Predators, then The Predator.
Yeah.
The Predators is quite a good film.
Yeah, Predators is all right.
I gave that a rewatch recently.
Is it?
It's not.
Right, yeah.
I know what they were going for. Well, they wanted it to be the aliens to the first film. If Predator was Alien, they wanted this to be Aliens, and it's not that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why they named it that.
It's quite a competent, by the numbers Predator movie.
Yeah.
Not spectacular, but not awful.
Morpheus's character was supposed to be Arnie, wasn't he?
Yes, quite blatantly when you watch it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They make a big deal about meeting this character.
COVID
we have no affiliation with.
Apparently,
COVID Kev says about Prey, the movie starts with her saying she's super awesome, and it ends with everyone in her tribe realizing that's true. Boy, when you put it like that.
Sounds awful. I'm not even going to give it a go.
You as well.
She says it like that as well.
Dude, I'm awesome.
And at the end, she turns to the camera and says, "See, it was super true." And then it just ends. And she's holding the Predator's head.
I mean, mind you, if it was
today, I
today,
could kill that monster. It turns out it was true. I could. So
but if it was today, if it was set today, it'd be like a teenager with attitude. Told you so.
Right, like listen, right.
She
The reason why the first two, the reason they lost the recipe to do a good Predator film after the first one, like properly, and I'll tell you why. Because the first two, right, were 80s action movies with a monster injected into them. The first one is Commando with Arnie, and then they just add a Predator. The second film is Lethal Weapon, and then they add a Predator. And they needed to do like Die Hard and have it with Bruce Willis in the third one or some shit.
Black police detective and everything.
I get too old for this shit.
Well, and being stuck in a building with a Predator.
Yeah. Again, it's another problem with franchises as they go on too long.
What they need to do is a
becomes
buddy
all about
cop.
the mythology.
What they need to do is a buddy cop. They need to do a buddy cop comedy where the two police partners, one's a predator and the other's a xenomorph. And they have to do like police patrols in a station together. And they like rub each other the wrong way.
And the Predator keeps doing your mama jokes to the xenomorph, and it's really pissing me off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
And the xenomorph's always like fucking. The xenomorph's always fucking with his weapons, and he's like, "Why do you use weapons? Why are you such a bitch?" Like, he fires a gun, and it's like says bang, and he's like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do now without your gun, you stupid bitch?"
Yeah, and he gets into the car and realizes he's changed all the devices. He's like, he's been messing with them, and he's like, "Never mess with another brother's laser guns, motherfucker."
And he's come back to his...
The xenomorph's like presses his glasses up like that and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just a nerd."
What's the xenomorph wearing glasses? Is that like, is it cool shades? Because otherwise they're pretty useless.
Because he's the nerd.
No, he's the uptight one.
The Predator's played by Samuel L. Jackson.
One's cool, the other's a nerd.
Yeah, and that's the dynamic.
You're right, Max. That would totally work.
Follow the herd all the time? Why are you just like everyone else and I'm just like on my own?
Man, shut up! Your big mouth coming out of your other big mouth, motherfucker.
Why does your head look like a dick? Yeah, they'd be like, "Well, your mouth looks like a vagina."
Hey.
Thanks.
So anyway,
have you seen this?
No, that looks awesome.
Yeah, Predator, and it's a free comic day German version. But like Predator, Judge Dredd versus, like, there you got two verses: Predator versus Judge Dredd versus Aliens. I'm like, whoa, like, thrill power overload.
They did an Aliens versus Predator versus Terminator as well.
What I would like to see in this is the xenomorph, like, had its extra teeth jutting out, smashing through Dredd's faceplate, saying, "Gaze into the teeth of me." Mic drop. Ben would like my mic drop. Have you guys left me here?
Yeah, dude. Sorry, dude. I didn't want. I wanted to take advantage of the fact that no one could see me to rip a big bowl hit on my pipe. So that's what I was doing. What were you saying? Excuse me?
Keep this up and Kevin Hart will voice it.
Which one?
Oh, the buddy cop. The buddy cop.
Yeah, back to the movie pitch now. Yeah.
Telling you,
exactly.
We're on to a hit. IVP, the buddy cop movie, is a winner.
No, I think it is a winner, and I think it's a sketch that we have to do, even if it's an animation, or we'll figure out how to do it. But that's a bit for Harmless Extremism, our upcoming once a year animation special.
So, did we give IVP a bit of a crack? The comic.
For sure.
Well, I think I read something different from what you were describing minutes ago.
But to be honest,
what did I?
I
read this.
Yeah.
That's the one I read.
Yeah, for sure. What I find, I got some criticisms. Like in the beginning, like when I first started reading, I was like, "Damn, every face looks bloody same." Mind you, okay, I'm not going to do the all Japanese people look the same, but like really, the faces do look very similar. No.
Yeah, the artwork's kind of simple, eh?
At the beginning, but let me skip ahead. It gets much more complex as you get into the story, and I like that. I mean, I like that, but then again, I like I don't know, because I've got different issues. I've got issues, you see. I would say issues 4 or 5, it gets so much better, so much more action. I do like that. Yeah. What I found was, and okay, so the Brits would like this maybe. Does this not remind you of Flesh? You know, from the really early 2000 ADs, they go back in time to the time of the dinosaurs and start herding them for meat.
Right.
And that's what they're doing, but on another planet with something that looks like a dinosaur, but is just a native animal.
Yeah, the artwork is kind of 2000 AD-ish.
Yeah, for sure. In the beginning, I thought, it took me a little while to get in, and I liked it after a while. But what I did, you know, like one of you guys mentioned that, first of all, you don't see, in the films, you don't see the alien. You've got that suspense.
Yeah.
In the first issue, these are all pages from the first issue. So you've got everything there, and it kind of takes that suspense away a little bit. That's what I
agree,
found.
which is what I was saying about the
well,
the film
hold on.
equivalent, you know.
Say again.
But look at these panels. Look at these panels though, and how they're colored, right? Because like the predators are completely. Rob, go back. Could you go back to that page, please? So the predators are like really well illuminated, and like they're not even wearing their helmets in all of these panels. So like you can see them clearly. You know what they're about. But then look at that xenomorph hanging upside down, looking like your golden retriever when it's sitting eating out of your hand. But he's like in shadow, and you can't. Like, that's the posture, right? Like a dog, dude. But he's upside down, and he's like half obscured by shadows, isn't he?
Yeah, I like.
You know?
I
so
like
he's
that
like
panel.
mysterious.
Yeah. I think it could be better, a little bit darker, but yeah. But again, you see all of this, and there you got them without the helmets, and like this one, it just kind of looks like they're posing. Strike a pose. No,
the xenomorphs.
No, the predators. Yeah. There's a specific name for the predator, isn't there?
Youcher.
That's the noise when they sting you, right?
Yeah.
Youcher.
Exactly. It's an
onomatopoeia. What I found interesting is check out the difference in color. This is from let me see. This is from my German version, and this is from the online version. The online version is all kind of like painty, kind of looks like watercolor. I don't know. But like really different. So I don't know what's going on there. I mean,
she's a lot lighter skinned in Germany, isn't she?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, mind you, she's supposed to be Japanese because the whole story is like a Japanese corporation that have set up this this what would you call it, like a slaughterhouse, like they go herding these two-horned beasts, and everything's like, I mean, what was it, damn it, what was her name? Hang on a sec, what is her name in this? I've forgotten it.
Shit.
Machiko. Was it Machiko? Yeah, that's it. Like they've all got Japanese names, and apart from, if I could skip back to where I was earlier, like you got this lady here, who's you got these Western guys. No, the ones with the beards are more Western. This guy, this girl, this lady is a doctor, and she's Indian. I mean, I guess you could tell by the bindi, right? Yeah. But it's mainly Japan centric in the telling, and she actually makes references to inexperienced karate practitioners, and she's got some moves as well. Yeah. So the story, it kind of grows on you. I wasn't too impressed at the beginning, but it grew on me, and I liked it. Yeah, I read the book and I liked it.
The story's just basically.
I should have known that Rob was gonna like overanalyze the Japanese culture behind the Wachimawochu. But yeah, that's an interesting observation.
I don't know about overanalyze, but yeah, actually, I read this week that somebody mentioned that it would be a good idea to set a Predator movie in like feudal Japanese times and like face off.
I saw that, and I think Vikings would be better.
Well, why not do both?
Vikings?
Because in Predator, he's already fought a samurai guy.
Has he?
Yeah.
In the comics?
In Predators, in the film.
Well, I got to go back and watch that then.
I mean, it's a modern day samurai, but he still fights a samurai.
Alrighty. So has he got a samurai's head on his wall?
No. He
Can you imagine a Predator's living room? So I got to like.
Well, you see it in Predator. You see the Predator's living room in Predator 2, and he's got.
Do you?
Yeah, he's got.
He's got like a xenomorph skull up there, even.
Yeah, there's a xenomorph skull up there, and there's all different sorts of shit. I'm not. I bet they don't have living rooms. I bet they're just like
in his
I bet they just
easy
sleep
boy
on
with
the
his
floor.
slippers on.
Yeah, they just sleep on the floor, have their protein shakes, and then go and hunt.
Yeah,
because I haven't got. They only wear loincloths. No, but I have fond memories of the story. It's essentially the film, but with a sci-fi setting.
When was it? When did you read it
expands on the
first time?
Predator stuff a bit more.
Yeah.
When did I read it the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably in '91.
Nice. Oh, this is nice. I think it's
film,
nice.
but
Like if you
set on Earth, no temple.
If you read it such a long time ago, obviously this will have a much more personal feel for you because
absolutely.
Yeah. I read it yesterday.
I know.
Still, I still like it.
Yeah. It's a simple dimple story, like, but I just thought it had really good potential for great imagery if they like translated this version into the film.
The way the thing is, she has a challenge in the film, in the story, and she deals with that challenge. I don't know if we're going to give spoilers out.
Yeah,
go on then. Okay, so basically the xenomorphs are fighting the predators, and they've been preoccupied, so they haven't fed their like two-horned what are we going to call them? They have like a
rhinoceros cows.
Yeah, those rhinoplasty cows, right? So basically she knows that they've not been fed, they're all hot and bothered and like, yeah, exactly. So her idea is, well, damn it, let the cows just like trample over them, which is what they do, and they obliterate the most of them, which is quite clever, actually. I like that.
Yeah,
I think that's a good piece of writing. Yeah.
I agree. I think that would have been that would have been great if it had translated over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wanted to see that version.
Yeah,
I wanted
why not,
something more attached to the Alien franchise than the Predator franchise, I think.
Yeah, we should send a link to this pod to the producers of Aliens versus Predators and say, hey, give the people what they want.
Mate, I'm telling you, I could turn Hollywood around.
Bend it over.
Yeah. And shag all the shit films out of it.
Which there are many shit films right out of it.
Can we quote?
No, like I don't understand why
Mr. Shroom.
Yeah, you can.
Like, I honestly don't understand why movie producers don't look and see what fandom YouTubers or like what YouTubers exist that are getting a lot of engagement with fans of a franchise and listen to their fucking ideas, because they're obviously in tune with what the fans who would be paying for money to see these movies, how they see it, because they keep getting it wrong, right?
Right. No, I agree.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Does anyone watch Comic Book Girl 19?
Yeah, I've seen her.
Yeah, it's just the next producers who are going to do the next X-Men movie. Just watch her videos on the X-Men. She's
cool.
Such a fan, and I've listened to her ideas for an X-Men movie, and I was like, well, yeah, that would make a great film. But we're not talking about X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Also, she has an OnlyFans.
No, but that's a perfect example of what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that. Like why don't producers listen to fans? This is a fan film that came out in 2019.
Right.
No.
And and that is actually 2019 is when they kind of like pitched this idea for this film. And we can put the link, I guess. Oh, why am I trying to scroll here? Yeah.
This is a cover version.
Whoa, hello. What? I mean, yeah, it's a fan film. You can see it's a fan film, right?
Well, hang on, that's not close.
Look at that. That's hilarious, isn't it? Imagine if we got that.
But the funny thing, I mean, you can actually see this on YouTube. It's there on YouTube. A fan film by Chris Notarail. No? And,
Superman in it.
Well, isn't Prey essentially?
No, I think that's just like advertising. Let me get it.
They had no intention of making another Predator movie until I think Dan Trachtenberg came along. I think that's the guy's name, and he just had a good pitch. So they said, "Okay, go."
So did they pay this kid for the idea, or did they just rip him off?
No, probably not. Hey, probably not.
I don't think so. I think there's been a bit of a hoopla about the whole thing.
I have not seen this
yet. They may have to.
Yeah, I've not seen this yet.
I don't know.
Anyone can sue.
I don't know how close the actual film is to Prey.
Well, that black eye makeup was weirdly similar.
Yeah. But it might have just been an aesthetic that they took because judging by that other picture with the two female predators, I don't think Prey ripped that part off. to its detriment.
It could be a coincidence. There's so many fan-made projects out there. I mean, wasn't there a big hoopla because the title The Force Awakens had already been used as a fan movie 5 years before the film came out? Yeah. Whoa. So, and I imagine, in all innocence, they probably independently came up with the same titles together.
Yeah. Yes, I've read Predator Cold War COVID.
But the problem is when you put these fan films out there or any fan-made projects, there's no way of proving that the creatives in Hollywood see these things and steal the ideas.
Max,
I would say we should get COVID Ked on the show because it sounds like he's also quite knowledgeable.
We always ask him, and he's always like, nah.
And he always says no. What are these?
But they end up being half the show anyway.
From Alien comics or what?
What was that? Sorry.
Are these arcs from Alien comics or what are these? Cold War and Jungle Tales?
Predator
comics. Yeah, sounds like
those
it.
Okay, but those are Predator comic books.
Yeah, Predator stories.
Bro, I gotta read this.
Oh man, there's so many. Honestly, the best ones are the Dark Horse. I look up the forget what it's called now, but there's a famous alien story about two separate breeds of alien that live on one planet. There's like the normal ones and then the red ones.
They should do like a Romeo and Juliet story with them, or better yet, Pocahontas meets Predator, and they fuck.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you just Katie Phil's idea.
Like the Predator kills John Smith or whatever his face is, and Pocahontas is like, "Well, you're my husband now."
You're my wife now, Dave. Maybe he actually wears John Smith's face.
Yeah. Who else should the Predator fight? Like what?
Giant haystacks.
What other? British ITV wrestling.
You should hunt the Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
I mean, what other time periods? What other settings? Would be ideal to put this monster into?
Woodstock in the 60s.
But it would just be like the Predator, like tossing hippies aside.
No, but he wouldn't because the hippies are all peaceful and he wouldn't see them as a threat.
You're weak.
Yeah, it should have been the Woodstock '99 festival that he trashed.
Yeah.
probably what happened from the look of it.
Imagine like a predator with his invisibility cloak at a concert, and then everyone just starts moshing, and as they push into him, he kills them.
Everyone's getting redder and redder and redder.
Indians, or you could go medieval predator.
Yes,
the Dark Ages.
Imagine a predator jousting.
Predator in the sort of Excalibur aesthetic.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
Predator in King Arthur's court.
Oh yeah, Predator Primal. That'd be good in caveman times. That's good.
Well, yeah, I mean this one. He goes up. He squares
have
off.
To be like fighting monsters, not humans.
Well, he's squaring off against a bear with this one, which is exactly what happens in Prey, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know, so
bear versus predator,
which is a cool scene because he punches it out.
Have you seen that John Smith's tuna? Is it tuna? The advert where the bear is like
the bear in the bollocks.
Yeah, and the bear starts squaring up and punching. Jabbing.
Yeah, but the guy is Predator.
Well, you know, it's like
the Wild West, Katie. Good one.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
No, you need to have a Predator in Westworld.
Westworld, yeah, so just kill everyone in that show, and then it can end.
And he's like confused because he's like, these things aren't hot, but they look like humans. What's going on?
But also, they're hot.
Maybe like
because they're always naked, aren't they?
Yeah.
Isn't there I've been looking around. Isn't there a Predator comic where he's like in pre-Columbian South America?
Yeah, I think that's the sequel to the film comic one I was on about earlier.
Okay, all right.
There's a film where he's in pre-Columbian. I know, well, maybe not pre-Columbian, but he's in South America.
Okay.
The first one.
Well, is he wearing like a fedora hat?
No, he's not.
So in which case, he's possibly. He said yes.
The man from space. He say yes.
I reckon I wish I could leave you to just doing your hunting in peace, but
now you want
you eating buffalo.
See,
well,
this is it.
This
is it. She's onto a fucking winner. She's onto a winner because the genre that you inject it in is the Dirty Dozen, and then add a predator.
Yes.
There you go.
And he just kills them one by one until there's only one left, and he kills.
So there you go. You got your genre and your time frame and your predator.
So you could do maybe a World War II movie as well. Sort of Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, could you imagine that? Like, so that there's a garrison of troops that are held down by German fire, and so they've got the Germans like on one side, and then the Predator like kind of like turns up inside
and rips apart Nazis.
Yeah, well, no, because they're being fought on both sides. So it's like a real underdog, against German artillery, but they've also got a certain. I say, will you stop ripping my men apart? I'm trying to win a bloody war here.
Yeah, that would be an actual line that I would remove from Rob's idea. But apart from that, it's a great idea. And then the final battle. I'm getting excited. And then the final battle's in no man's land, and they fucking make him tread on a mine or some shit.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Cool.
That would be pretty cool. I'd watch that.
Or they trick the Predators to get like cut down by crossfire. Machine gun crossfire. There you go. Sorted.
Yeah.
I feel like in the last hour we've come up with a dozen better ideas than Hollywood has churned out in the past 30.
I think we should start writing these, and when they start making the films, then we're like, hey.
I've just had a thought, and
another.
This, even though this sounds like I'm contradicting myself from earlier on that, I did have a problem with her being a girl in Prey. And the reason why I had the issue was not because I don't think like it works in the story, is that with Aliens and Predator, right, I always felt like Aliens was the inherently sort of feminine side of the two arcs, because Ripley's the main character. The second one is about motherhood and all that sort of stuff, and it's really pushed by this strong female character, and it's a more complex story.
And the xenomorphs are female too. The queen,
right?
Which
exactly
is the strong one.
Yeah, get away from her, you bitch. All of that. It's all very feminine and very, very well done. And the story itself is more complex because of that. On the flip side, Predator was always, to me, was like, oh well, this is the male side of the yin yang, because it's just about testosterone and blowing shit up versus this other thing. And like the story itself never gets. It never gets.
Well, it's literally about hunting.
That's all it's about, right? And I think, and because it was one of the reasons, like these two separate designed creatures kind of represent those two things both very well. Not just the films that they're in, but in their design. Like the Predator's this big hulking creature, and the Alien's like this slick, really sort of almost sexual looking, lighter looking. Lighter on its feet sort of creature, and that's why it's sort of fascinating to pit them together, because one's like a brutal boxer and one's like a ballet dancer or a martial artist, like it whips its tail and stuff. So when they put the girl as the protagonist, I'm like, it's kind of, that's another edge to the original that it's lost, and not because I don't like films with women. I just think that series in particular, especially the first two films, is very much about just testosterone and grit. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
It sounds like a film that we should hate but don't.
Sorry?
It sounds like a film that we should hate but don't.
No, I don't.
It's the fact that, if you make a good film, we'll like it no matter what. And not that I've seen it already, but we'll like it no matter what the underlying politics are.
No, yeah, but I'm
thinking, okay, this is the Predator for our time. It's a female versus, it's feminine versus masculine, and feminine will win in the end.
But I think it could be that way because there are so many movies that are explicitly pushing that message. But if you took this film on its own, like put it in a vacuum outside of any cultural or historical zeitgeist and just looked at it for what it is, it kind of makes sense to me, because maybe this is because I have a lot of health issues, so I have to think outside the box a lot when I get in fights or when I play sports, and so I kind of identify with her on that level, not like a female thing necessarily, but like being like the runt of the of the pack or something, and clearly not the strongest, clearly not the smartest, even. Well, maybe the smartest, but clearly not the. But you could still I don't know. I didn't feel like he was showing up the man. I didn't feel that way because she's consistently making bad calls and physically weaker than the male.
The Predator is meant to represent masculinity. Isn't she showing up masculinity by defeating it?
I don't know. Maybe. I hope not.
And again,
I think the Predator franchise is supposed to represent masculinity, so the elements within it are masculine. So you could have done the runt of the litter with a guy,
with a male,
and just
like that more.
Yeah, and then had the struggle of what it's like being a bloke when you feel like the runt of the litter. It's hard. Like everyone's been at the bottom of the stack when they're at the bottom of the hierarchy when they're a guy, and it's tough to climb up, man. Over the years, it is.
I would have liked that.
It would have been nice to watch.
More.
See, so the ascension of that, he didn't have to.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he necessarily had to be like Arnie, but would have said something masculine that I just think the franchise itself is kind of really based on like its roots are in Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is he's the man of the 80s, isn't he? And I think in contrast to that, Aliens is exactly the same for femininity, and they each femininity, and that, but they each draw their strength in their stories, the way the story is as well from that, because the testosterone dictates that it's just a boom 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 film, right? Whereas in Aliens, there's a bit of testosterone in it, but they ultimately all get overcome by the alien, right?
Do you know this?
I would love a lion, wolf, and cub one.
Lone wolf.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming she means lone wolf and cub. I'm intrigued what her pictures there. Are we
or a drug snorting wolf?
Lone wolf. The lion wolf.
No, are we talking big predator, little predator?
The Wolf of Wall Street versus Predator.
That could be good.
Yeah, but bringing his boy along with him.
A big predator and like a little predator,
teaching
like
him
a lone
hunting.
wolf and cub thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a little baby predator that hasn't learned to kill. Yeah.
I'm all for a little baby predator.
Yeah, I'm down for a baby predator.
Baby Yoda, now baby predator. Have you seen this?
That's the next movie. Baby Yoda versus Baby Predator.
Versus the Muppet Babies.
Versus the Muppet.
Max, do you remember? Come on, we'll go to Rob.
Oh no, go for. Sorry, I didn't realize you wanted to say something.
No, it's just a little diversion. But do you remember the first film idea you ever told to me? You had.
Who
was it?
Max, I guess you're talking to Max, right?
Oh, it was. I know what it was. Was it Vader versus Skeletor?
It was Vader versus Skeletor.
And again, that would be a fucking winner.
I don't know. At the time, I was like,
it would have worked well if the bro was the main.
Yeah,
just to finish that topic, I think she's right. Yeah, you're right, Katie.
All right. I wanted to ask Max if he's read these. Whoa, there you go. Because I haven't. I picked up a whole truckload of Alien comics, and because it's incomplete, I've only read like the occasional one or two.
I have not read that one.
You know the name. Whoa, where's my finger? Chris Claremont.
Yes,
I know that name, you know that name. Why do you know that name?
I don't know. I'd have to Google it.
The X-Men, exactly. Yeah. So he's like a well-seasoned writer. And since I dug these out again today, I thought, oh, yeah, I'm going to have to find these. I'm going to have to... whoa, there we go. I'm going to... Because I've only got like 3 of the run of 12. But it's interesting because these are very, like... I flicked through them, and yeah, you can see... I don't know if it's for the male gaze, but... There's a lot of female figures, and it seems like strong female figures as well. And you can see
that's the
these.
ones I like to gaze at. Strong.
yeah. So maybe, but you haven't read these at all, then, Max?
No, I don't think so.
Right. Okay.
I've definitely
we will. We're going to have a really strong gaze at them.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the covers before. When were they issued, mate?
Let me see. Well, these are actually the English language versions, so they are US versions.
It's the same thing, Rob.
Say again?
It's the same thing, the US and the English language version.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I'm just looking for the date because, of course, it's got 1994, January 1994.
Right. Yeah, I
so
know this boy.
Yeah. Going up to, well, I guess then 1995, May of 1995 is number, oh, God. Focus. There we go, 11 of 12. There you go. So you can see all these figures, all these front covers,
What I really like about those covers is that it really demonstrates what Max was saying about the xenomorphs having a feminine, weirdly erotic aspect to them, right?
I know. We're going to have words with Mrs. Max about that. Mm-hmm.
Like when you have the xenomorph
gaze at them.
silhouette behind the female human, it really matches well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, I'll check this one out.
Yeah,
Get
go on.
big.
Make me big. Make it big. Make me small.
I was trying to make you small without eliminating you.
That's always good. I appreciate it. Whoa.
Oh.
You know what happened just then?
Ooh.
Literally, you put yourself big and I put you small in the same second. Oh. Whoa!
Nice. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you.
This was a comic series that was made as a sequel to Aliens. It's fucking great. But like it came out.
Further adventures of Ripley and Hicks.
It's just called Aliens. Let me just
Is it like the retelling of the film?
No, it's a sequel to the film.
But does it
okay, so it's like an original story.
Yeah, it was. It came out for a little while. It was sort of considered what happens after the second film, and then with the release of Alien 3 in 90, when did Alien 3 come out? 92. Then it might, decanonize the story, but in this one, like Newt's still alive, Hicks is still alive.
Oh yeah.
They did. The sequel we should have got.
Yes, and they did an audiobook version of the sequel. And they got the guy that plays Hicks to voice his own character and I think tell the story.
Huh.
And it's it was what was supposed to be. It was what was supposed to be the screenplay for what the original third movie was going to be, which was they get picked up by the company. Newt and Hicks are still alive, but Ellen Ripley's in a coma in a stasis tube, pretty much for the whole film. And then they retrieve some organic matter of the alien and basically start experimenting with it and creating these other things. But in that story, there's another sort of we find out there's another attribute to the biology of the alien, which is basically if you get that cocoon stuff on you for too long, it starts to change you into something else. But there's a really good scene in it where like Bishop's mowing down all these different aliens in one go, and it sort of pans up on his face, and his face is completely emotionless. I was like, oh, that would have been excellent in the movie. And then the movie sort of ends with Ripley waking up, and then the next part was going to be Ripley's character coming back. But they pussied out and made Alien 3.
What do people think of Alien 3?
The story wasn't cool.
What do I think of Alien 3? It's all right. The thing I like the most. The thing I like the most about Alien 3 is like all the shit that was going on surrounding it. Like what the original story was. Like it was going to be like it wasn't going to be a prison to begin with, was it? It was going to be a big wooden ship that was basically full of
wooden planet.
Yeah, it was a wooden planet, and it was full of monks, like religious monks.
Yeah.
And they had their own. I've read the script for that as well. They have their own.
Where'd you get that?
It's online.
Is it? Nice.
Yeah, pretty good. There's a king alien in it.
Is there?
Yeah.
Share that shit with me.
Yeah, for sure.
I need to look at that.
Yeah.
Pretty good. They took a few scenes from it. Apparently, the scene where the raptors are eating people in the field in Jurassic Park 2. That's sort of lifted from the original Alien script, because there was a field inside the ship where the monks were like cutting down, and then the aliens hidden there.
What's the name of the northern actor who's the like the head of that religious colony?
Mr. Rottweiler.
I have no idea.
Brian Glover.
Brian, yeah. I thought I just love that. I mean, like being northern guys, we owe allegiance to that, right?
Yeah, he's the PE teacher in Kes, and he's Mr. Rottweiler out of Bottom.
Yeah.
What is it?
What is it? I've got a fucking bird upstairs.
I've seen him live in Up and Under. Do you know Up and Under?
Yes.
It's like a theatre play about rugby.
Rugby, yeah.
Yeah. And we had some kind of excursion to go see that, which was cool. In Hull, Hull.
Hull says Predators versus Klingons.
Where would you pinch? Oh no, Vulcan. Sorry, Doy.
For me, Alien 3 is one of those films. It's like the Phantom Menace. Every 5 years ago or so, I put it on because I think maybe it's aged better with time.
What's that?
And I put it on Alien 3, and I think no, it still doesn't work. When something doesn't work on a story level, it will never work. But I admire the intention behind it because it's David Fincher's first film, and I think they hired him because he was going to be the new Ridley Scott, and I think he probably exceeded that expectation in a lot of respects. But he'd done a lot of music videos at the time. He was the hot young director. He had this great visual style. So they got him. They wanted it to be one alien on its own, so taking it back to the first film. Sigourney Weaver's edict was that there should be no weapons in this film. The Aliens was very weapons heavy, so she wanted it to be a film about people using their smarts to defeat the alien. I thought, the prison setting, the production design, everything was great about that film. But sometimes, you put all these elements together and the magic just doesn't happen,
No.
So
apparently,
it's just a film
as well,
that doesn't work, but I can't fault it for its intention.
Right. But apparently,
the elements
he was receiving script pages on the morning of shooting and stuff. So he'd have
to
repurpose areas so he could shoot whatever he got that morning. Apparently, it was like the most
they realized when they were making it,
oh
shit, this script doesn't work, the story doesn't work, so they were rewriting it on the go, and that never
can't work under those conditions, can you?
Yeah, so considering what was produced,
yeah,
it's
and if I say one thing, the film, it looks great.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it looks like a David Fincher film. There's some shots he even used later. I think there's a shot that he used for Seven, isn't there, where it comes up behind Ripley and she's on the ground and it's out of focus, the alien.
Right.
He just growls at her, and he reused that shot in Seven for when Kevin Spacey's killer. I think he puts the gun to his head. He's disarmed Brad Pitt, and he puts the gun to his head, and it's the same shot essentially. It's the same dynamic. It's the same angle and everything. So he obviously, when he was making the film, he said, "Oh, I'm going to take everything that works here in this big turkey that doesn't work, and I'm going to put it in a better film."
It's an education being with you, good chaps. Wow, nice.
Yeah, like Alien 3 is probably a film that it's dead weird because I've watched it so many times, but I don't like it that much.
Yeah. There are.
Is that OCD?
So films like that.
No, I think what it was
a good film.
Yeah, I think what it was, Rob, is because
you want to like it more.
Yeah, basically, when I was a kid, I was such an Alien fan that when the third one came out, I wanted to like it so much, I just kept watching it.
Okay.
And it's not like today when you're just starved of any media. You get one Alien film, then another one doesn't come along till 10, 15 years later. Now it's like a film, a series, a T-shirt, a game, another series,
comics,
a remake.
The comics were practically the only spin-off we got back then.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, really, like comics are the precursor to, you know, like streaming. It's the way that, and especially in, I don't know, it's a bit of a class thing as well, isn't it? I don't know if it's a class thing, but I have a feeling that it's a class thing, and especially in the UK, a lot of
We're not talking about class things. I'm joking, obviously.
But you know, a lot of the comics were produced by working class people. So like they had these working class messages, and you see that so often in 2000 AD. Okay, in the US maybe it's not so prevalent. I don't know.
I don't think so.
But mind you, you got like Spider-Man, who's Peter Parker. He's like a lowly student, and he's having to like work for his money.
But I think there isn't a class system.
Spider-Man thing is like an absent father issue, because like he has to work to make money because there's no dad in the house.
Right.
That was more my reading, because there's a lot of that in American fiction.
Mind you, it's still what we would call working class.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We just don't really have class like that in the United States.
Well, you don't make the distinction. Well, no. I'm sure you kind of do, but maybe you don't like give it a name.
It's broader strokes, is what it is. If you wanted to visualize it, there'd be like a few clearly defined bars representing the United States, and then in England it would be like splinters. You know,
right?
Do you own a home or do you own a trailer? Is it that black and white?
Yeah, it pretty much is, dude.
What was it? My skin is white, but my neck is red. I spread miracle whip on my Wonder Bread.
I don't even know where I know that from.
Mayonnaise.
Scary movie 3.
Scary movie. Hang on, I know it. I'm glad you said 3.
Yeah. Have you seen this?
No.
Have you seen this?
That's a Charlie Sheen one.
No.
This is Focus. Archie Goodwin, Walter Simonson.
Is that the first film?
It is the first film.
Whoa!
What?
Yes.
There's Ripley in all her.
I know. Oh, you want to see Ripley in her underwear, don't you? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I do.
Of course you do. Yeah.
Have they got the bum shot?
The bum shot. Oh God.
The bum. One of a bum.
Not the boom mag.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
There you go. You misogynists. Yeah.
No, that was a very intentional and clever shot, that, because it takes your eye off the fact that the alien is behind her, hidden in the control.
Oh, now that's clever. Yeah. That is clever.
I've never seen the alien.
Yeah. There's an alien in that scene.
I picked this up on eBay, and I'll tell you what. Oh, check that out.
Whoa!
Wow.
That is nice.
That's wild.
Who's the artist here? That's some good work.
Charlie, I believe Archie Goodwin is the artist. Screenplay, the story. Dan O'Brien, I think it's. I'm trying to find it.
Right, later.
Oh, you'll like this. Are you ready? Drum roll, please.
I was born ready. Go.
Yes.
Nice, right?
Bro, that looks like something out of Heavy Metal magazine.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Yes,
explains everything.
How have I not read? Oh, I need my own copy of that, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And I tell you what, I remember a buddy. I was 9 years old when Alien came out, right? And a buddy of mine at school had this. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And you know, as being kids, because I think it says bastard in here somewhere, and we're like, whoa, you know, like, so this is obviously, you know, like forbidden material.
Right. And, what were you like?
Say what?
What were you like when you heard the word bastard?
No.
Do it again.
Are you going to screenshot it?
Oh, do it 3 times now. That's going in the intro.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The thing is, make me small. So yeah, like, I mean, obviously as kids we said bastard and lot, and we didn't say bastard because we're not Southerners. We said bastard. So here's the thing. But when we saw that, we're like, wow, yeah, cool. So I'm not even sure he was supposed to have this as like a 9 or a 10-year-old.
No, he was.
Probably not. Probably not.
I used to bring
14.
Mate, I used to bring copies of Viz into primary school.
Viz? What stories were shown in Viz when you were in primary school? Like Mickey's Monkey Spunk Moped.
It was the fat slags. It was the fat slags and bit of bacon.
That is one of my favorite ever stories. Mickey's Monkey Spunk Moped. He's got a moped, but it only works with simian semen.
What?
Let's do a Viz. Let's do a Viz because that's an
we should how that works.
That is an education.
How cool is that?
I don't think it does.
So
I think Rob, that you've stumbled upon a great idea there. I think we should do a Viz episode.
Yeah, we should.
Get Ben to read
education to Ben.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
we should get Rob and Nick on and introduce Americans to Viz.
And Finbar Saunders and his double entendres. I love it. Whoa! Check out.
Ben. 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 There's in Viz, right? In Viz, there's a character called Dr. Pooh, and it's basically Doctor Who.
In the TARDIS.
He's just going, and he's just going from dimension to dimension, looking for someone.
I've got one in the Bombay doors.
Wait. He goes from dimension to dimension doing what?
Looking for someone to have a poo.
A being not of this world, but a user of its toilets.
Yeah. There's an animated version on YouTube, and I use the word animated very loosely, but it's
it's a quintessential British poo humour. So you'll probably
try not to laugh.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see.
I love Finbar Saunders and his double entendres because everything he hears is double entendre.
Yeah.
His neighbor is talking about the time that he took Finbar's mother fishing, trout tickling. I mean, Buddha knows what's coming up, right? And he talks about, and there she was, and she had one. Hey, what? Shall I leave it until next week? Or next time? Or shall I tell it now?
Carry on.
All right, then. Because she saw a big pink one underneath her and started tickling it underneath. But she had to grab it behind her head before it shot off. I fucking love it.
Finbar Saunders, double entendres. Finbar Saunders, double entendres. Yeah, I could get into it.
Do you know this? The Magna Fata?
Oh, there we go. We've awoke Rob.
Say that for next week.
The Profanosaurus Rex. I can love this stuff.
We've fully awoken the dad in Rob.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Rob's final form next week.
Oh my god! He said cock.
Hey, you know this AI? You can like input words and like it makes a picture.
It makes a picture like 9 of them, right? Even.
Dude, yeah, exactly. Where's my phone?
That's the good one.
I want to show you I just for the sheer fuck of it, I put in Prince Charles eating cock.
But is this YouTube safe?
Wait, it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good.
I got my finger on the remove from stream button.
So is YouTube.
What the fuck? He was eating an actual cock.
He's eating a cockerel.
All right, show it again. Show it again.
Wait. Let me turn the.
This time it's actually a penis.
The brightness down.
That's Prince William eating cock.
Prince Charles eating cock.
Wait, it's the perfect picture though of Prince Charles.
You're gonna eat a cock.
Like, look at that totally misformed hand. Like, what the?
Well, he doesn't want to eat it, does he?
that is.
Yeah, that's the most intriguing.
That is an AI saying, "That is what a hand looks like."
Fucking royals. They're all weird.
Right? It's because they're inbred.
Yes.
Because they don't have much genetic difference.
They have none.
I would like to see a picture of Prince Charles in a loaf of whole Hovis. Yeah, because he's inbred.
Get your coat.
Are we still on, or is this the after show? The after show bit? I can't quite tell.
Do you know what surprises me? How surprised the members of this show still get when we've gone off topic. Like, yeah, the show's still on, and we're talking about nothing to do with what we said we were going to talk about.
We did about 85 minutes this week, I'm sure.
There was one aspect of AVP, the movie, that I didn't see it in the comics, at least the ones that I read, that I thought was really cool, which was when they killed the first xenomorph, Broken Tusk or whatever his name is, the Yautja, who's my favorite character out of any of these movies that I've seen, by the way. When he teams up with the chick, what's her name, Alex, and they start hunting together, and like he makes armor out of the xenomorph's corpse, for her. He like shows her like, see, the acid destroys this, but it won't do anything to this. So he take this, and she gets it, and so she's got a fucking like shield that covers her arm all the way up to the shoulder. That is the head of the xenomorph, and then in her other hand, she has the tail like a spear.
Yeah, that's
fucking cool as shit, dude. And I don't know if that's in any of the comics. I hope so. I didn't see it.
No, I don't think I've seen that in the comics. It might be the bit where he burns the mark onto a forehead.
Right. Point in question.
I read that bit.
Point in question that these xenomorphs being crushed and splattered, and you see yellow goo come out of them, but they have absolutely no reference to it being acidic in those comics that we in.
Really?
Yeah, no, because I was like looking for that, thinking, well, you know, like what's going on with these, you know, those that we read together. Yeah, almost. Then no reference to acid apart from Harry Potter.
Like varying degrees of acidity depending on what the story needs. Like if you watch the first Alien film, it's enough to burn through the hull of a spaceship. But you read these comics,
completely
it will just leave a little scar on the forehead.
Yeah, in the first film, you get like a drop a bit on you, and you'll die because it'll just go straight through you.
Yeah.
Really, that would be great. Not great, but that would be interesting to see that in the comic, to get that little Harry Potter like lightning strike. No, it just melts her head off.
And it goes into her head.
Yeah, and then
like, whoops.
Yeah, the Predator's like, well, that was unintended.
Yeah, the last shot in the comic is just the Predator doing that.
Predator with his hand before his whatever that is.
Stick around, everybody, for the last second of the show. After the outro, you'll see us for 1 second, and we're all gonna make that face. So,
yeah. There's a sequel to
Green Lantern versus Aliens.
Just in case.
There's a sequel to the AVP story where the Predators return and they take her with them, and she lives with the Predators for like a couple of months and tries to learn how to be a hunter, and she fails miserably because she's not strong enough.
That was the element I didn't like about the film, is that they team up, don't they?
Yeah,
the girl and the Predator, and the Predator becomes the protagonist in the film.
Yeah,
I think that's the problem with versus stories for me, is that you don't really know who you're rooting for. Like,
I was rooting for the Predator.
It's Predator versus Arnie.
I was always rooting for the Predators, dude.
Well, you root for the Predator because the Predator's the human. Alien. So the Predator's the one that's closer to human, right?
Yes.
Whereas,
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said
total annihilation.
I'm gonna do my analysis this time, and if you can believe it, nothing to do with Jesus this time. So, like a record, I think. But basically, the way I see it is like, oh no, this has to do with Jesus. But like,
before you do that, my last pitch: Predator versus Seinfeld. Carry on, Ben.
What's the deal with all these weapons? You don't even know what it does.
I bet I can go the long without excreting acid.
You don't got to excrete acid. It's not a big deal. Yes, it is, Jerry. You don't want to excrete acid.
Jerry, there's a fucking predator outside.
I'm out.
Kramer comes in. He's like, "Well, you don't want to excrete acid."
Kramer comes in, he says that, and then he offends the Predator by saying something racist to him.
It's not a big deal.
Kramer versus Predator.
Yeah. Yeah. Full circle.
We brought it full circle, folks.
Whoa!
Jesus analysis. And then we're done. And then we've got a show.
Yeah.
But like Max was saying before, how like the aliens, the xenomorphs are feminine, and the hunters are masculine, and like that's also related to the fact that the hunters are way more humanoid, right?
Yeah,
like they're basically humans with weird heads, and I think that's all like part of the same symbolism, because like remember we were talking about with Constantine and the sun worship versus moon worship.
Yeah,
like I didn't explain that sun thing very well that time, but basically it's not like the sun and whatever god you worship, they don't have the same attributes, but it's like truth, illumination, power. Like this is how you interpret it, but all of that, you get that concept from the sun, right? Because the sun gives light, and so you relate that with wisdom. Anyway, that's another thing. What I was trying to get to is like the Yautjas are more like men, more like humans, which is also more like male men. And the xenomorphs are more like female, which is like the moon, darkness, the unknown, mystery, intuition, and that's why they don't use weapons. They just use their bodies, right?
Right.
Because a female body has power innate within it, because of people fight wars over female bodies, so don't fucking tell me that's not true,
Sure.
Right, and each alien film's about the company trying to preserve those bodies, right?
Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
They want to use it as a weapon.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's why I was always rooting for the Predators from the get.
Yeah, they're more relatable. They're gladiators, right? And at least in the first two films, it's sort of built up that they've got at least this sort of code of honor or ethics to their hunt. So they don't attack you if you're unarmed, and or if you're not a threat. They don't kill pregnant women.
Right.
Whereas the bipeds as opposed to quadrupeds, then instantly have more affiliation with the predator.
Definitely.
The the xenomorphs are the animals, and the predators are more
the people.
Human, closer to human.
Yeah. And the aliens kill indiscriminately as well. They kill everything.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Full
and
the force of nature. Where
the hunters have written language, and the predators, and they use tools.
Yeah.
So those are, archaeologically speaking, human attributes, right?
Civilization.
Yeah, they're both advanced and primitive at the same time, right?
Right.
Yeah, they're definitely from a civilized society, whereas the.
But do you see when you're getting into it, when you're breaking down the ideas? If we were coming up for an idea for an AVP film, the cool stuff you could actually come out with, as opposed to what we got.
Well, yeah, there's a lot better ideas to exploit than the ones that usually get made.
Yeah, setting it in the Seinfeld universe.
You can still pepper it with you can still pepper a cool, a darker story with those action scenes, and still pull in the punters. It's just what's surrounding the action that's the issue, or the little set pieces. It was just very weak.
Yeah, that's the part. That's the element that you felt no consideration has been given to.
Yeah.
Let's do anything. We've got the poster. So we're going to get the punters in. But we haven't got a story. Doesn't matter.
But there's one there, man. There's one there for sure.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it's like. It's like in photo booths, you can have your photo taken with any celebrity. So you've got a celebrity, which is the predator, and then your photo is just like a blank circle or a blank oval.
Yeah. Yes, that can happen.
That's what I'm saying. You could just put anything in there, and whether it works or not is down to chance.
Yeah.
Right then,
whatever's making money.
Is that the end of the Alien and Predator and Alien v Predator conversation?
Bring out
Predator versus the iceberg. I would barely scratch the surface.
Right, well,
Serenity now.
Seinfeld and or Viz next week.
Yeah, I think we're done. We're doing
See you
Viz.
later, everybody.
Doing Viz
We're
next
doing
week.
Viz.
I can't believe we're doing Viz.
As we've just seen, drugs make your problems go away. So make it the best day possible. Remember, it's drugs that counts. Take one and take a chance.
Saturday morning cartoons, mostly conjecture based on little knowledge.